Hey y'all, it's Leslie with Phat Flossing. Welcome back to my little corner of the crazy. Today is Tuesday, I think it's January 9th, 2024. I got the year right, can you believe it? And anyway, today I'm gonna just do my regular FlossTube, talk to y'all about what I've got going on. I have plans for a whip parade and a finish parade of what I got done in 2023, assuming I get time to do that the next couple of days. But today, this is just my regular FlossTube, and I believe it's FlossTube number 146. I think I've been doing this, it escapes me now, 5 or 6 years. And I recently rolled over 5,000 subscribers. So in a little bit, we're going to talk about a giveaway for that. So stay tuned. I'll have a project bag and some other goodies to send to somebody. But for today, welcome back if you've been with me for a while. I'm very glad to be visiting with you here. I don't have any friends who stitch nearby. My friend Ann owns the Shepherd's Needle in Little Rock, and I don't see her real often, maybe once a quarter or so. But you guys are my window to the world, and I appreciate you coming to visit with me. Everything's been pretty good here. We had nice, quiet holidays. It was great. Steve had a total of 4 days off, including the weekend. And we didn't do a whole lot, which was perfect. His GI issues are better. He has a duodenal ulcer, but that is much improved from where he was in October and November. So I'm very grateful to God for taking care of him with that. And thank you all for your prayers for him. He still has the job from hell, but is what it is. I'm so gratefully retired. I'm good. I've got my same old aches and pains. We're just a part of having fibromyalgia, but you know, I live my life and get along, and it's all good. Getting old is a privilege denied to many, so I'm happy to be here. Let me think. Kitties are mostly doing really good. I only have a couple left that will be leaving in the first week of February, I think. I did lose one last week to an upper respiratory infection that we just could not get on top of. He had multiple trips to the vet and 3 different antibiotics, and you know, sometimes shit happens, which breaks my heart, and I won't talk about that anymore. But anyway, the others are all doing good. And I have 2 girls, thank God, who are pregnant. And hopefully they'll be due around the first 10 days of February. So I'll have new babies coming. And I'm sorry, baby is in heat. Her last batch of kittens are only 6 months old, so it's too soon for me to breed her again. But that's her knocking at the door to the office because she wants to get in here where the boys are. And she is going to be sadly disappointed. So anyway, hopefully we'll have less yodeling today than we did on the last video. But we'll get started. Oh, my huge dog is up to almost 100 pounds. He's still extremely sweet. Loves his mama and his daddy to distraction. And he's just goofy as hell. But anyway, we're all good. And I hope you guys are doing wonderful and had a great holiday season, and that 2024 is off to a great start for you. So let's talk about stitching. And I said that, and the first thing I'm going to show you is not really stitching, but it is the cutest thing you may ever see. I think when I showed on my last FlossTube, I told you I was working on a little needle felted wool sheep. And at that point, he was nothing but a ball for his head and a ball for his body. But I have since felted his head onto his body, made the ears. That's no joke, man. It takes forever to felt that wool down. This is, I don't know if you can see, but I felted that wool down to the thickness of like a sheet of felt that you'd buy, you know, at the craft store. And then I added the curly locks, and these are just, that's the type of wool that it is. It's very curly. And you just felt that, or, you know, poke a needle in it a bunch of times, is what I mean by felting, to the rest of the body. And he is just adorable. This will not be the last wool felt project that or needle felting project that I do. I think he's just cute as all get out. He was a kit. This was the kit. It came from someplace called bearcreekfelting.com. And I will put a link to their website when I do the show notes. That's likely to be tomorrow, at least, depending on what else is going on. But stand by, I will get it there. It just may take me a couple of days. Okay. It seems like I did not get a terrific amount of stitching done over the last month since I saw y'all last. But I did manage to eke out 2 last 2023 finishes. And speaking of that, let me tell you some stats. I started 2023 with 40 whips. Now, I didn't do my whip parade last year until the end of March. Just call me Tardy Turtle. But I started January 1, 2023 with 40 whips. I finished 17 of those. I started 20 new things and finished, I think, 13 of those. So I had a total of 30 finishes, plus my little sheet makes 31 for 2023. And I am hoping to do a finish parade, hopefully tomorrow. But anyway, and I'm going to try to do a whip parade tomorrow, the next day, whenever I get to it. But I was pretty happy with that number of finishes. At least I got to stitch all year last year. 2022, I spent 5.5 months where I could not stitch because of my stinking shoulder. So I'm very grateful that God is taking care of me and I'm back to doing what I love. Anyway, moving on. My next to last finish, I guess I should show the charts. This is a series of 12 charts from SamSarah. Aggregately, they are called the Flock. And these were a very sweet gift from Kathy West. And thank you, Kathy. I have so enjoyed stitching them. And I really, really believe in what it says on this. And what it says is, faith is the bird that feels the dawn. That's not right. Faith is the bird that feels the light when dawn is still dark. And this is stitched on, I didn't get my board out, did I? I guess we'll use my notes. This is stitched on, I believe this is 36 count Petunia from Color and Cotton. The obligatory FlossTube YouTube pose. Anyway, 36 count Petunia from Color and Cotton. And these are about 50% Color and Cotton flosses and other just overdyed flosses that I pulled from my stash. I did not use any of the call for. I just grabbed what I felt like using. And there they are. That's a big old wad of floss that can go back in my stash now as I get this unkitted. And you see this stack here? This is my finished parade for later in the week. So we're just going to add that on there. Okay, that's that one. Sorry, I've got a big old mess. And usually I pull my ironing board around and set y'all and the all my stuff on the ironing board, but the dog is laying in front of the ironing board and I didn't want to move the 100-pound dog to get the ironing board out. It's back yonder covered with crap. Anyway, okay. Next finish. Well, y'all think I'd never done this before instead of doing it 146 times. I have had this pattern forever. I think I've told y'all in the past. I started stitching in my early teens. I think I was 12 or 13 maybe when my Aunt Jessie taught me to stitch. And I stitched a lot, even through high school, and especially in my 20s and 30s, I stitched a crap ton. And then in 2002, when I was 40, life just got real busy and I had some issues with my vision. I'm very, very nearsighted. I see perfectly up to about 10 inches in front of my face and then the world goes away. But I had difficulty in focusing on my needlework. So I kind of quit stitching. And then I came back to stitching in 2016. So I had a 14-year break there. But this is a pattern that I purchased well before I ever quit stitching. The copyright on it is 1990. And it is called Father Yule from Shepherd's Bush. A long way around to say I've had the pattern a long time. And I started this, I believe, in 2018. I didn't pull out my book and look. But I finally, thank you, Jesus, got it finished. Now, I did not do it exactly like this. I left off the words at the bottom. Frankly, I just wanted to be done. That's what it boiled down to. But I also plan to finish this as a little, either a pillow or a stand-up. I think he's probably going to be a stand-up that I can put out on my hutch at Christmas time. But he's just super cute. I do need to, this is the whisper stuff in the sheep and his beard. And I need to get the little brush and kind of fuzz it up. He's got some Krynic here, and then this is a sulky metallic. And I tell you, I liked that sulky metallic. I hate Krynic. I hate Krynic. I would rather take a beating than stitch with Krynic. And I don't even remember where or when I got the sulky metallic. I still stitched with a relatively short length, about 12 inches. And usually I cut my floss about 18 inches long. But it was in a different time zone than Krynic for how easy it was to work with. It did not fray, and it's got a nice sparkly shine to it. There's other Krynic, the pink and some of the green here. And he's got a few beads on him. The beads, and I don't think much of the floss is the call for. I think I just pull stuff out of my stash. I know I did for the Krynic, because it was Krynic that I'd had for some of the project way back in the day, and because I don't buy Krynic anymore. Usually I'll use Petite Treasure bead if I need something like that, but I may look into getting some more of the sulky because I really like it. Anyway, suffice it to say, he ain't stitched with the call for. He's stitched with whatever. But I still think he's pretty stinking cute. And I do plan to get him finished, like I said, probably as a stand-up. But anyway, he's done. And because he's been hanging around for 5 or 6 years, I'm really glad he's done. Is that all I wanted to say about that? I think it was. Oh, here's my DMC. And I think I used one Victorian Motto overdyed. But that was, the rest of it is just DMC and then the whatever Krynic / sulky metallic that I have. And again, the sulky metallic, I really liked it. Oops, he needs to stay out because he's a finish. Yay him. Okay. Add to my sack of crap there. Okay. Excuse me while I get a drink. Okay. I did actually have some FFOs. I have none of them to show you. I FFO'd the little Fragments in Time ornament that I had made for his son and his wife, my son and his wife, and that has been sent off. And I FFO'd Friends or Flowers and sent that to my best friend, and Yellow Polka Dot Bikini. The last two I did as stand-ups. The ornament, I did a little pillow ornament finish, but those have all left. I will show some, I have some pictures of them, and I will show those when I do my finished parade, but you just have to take my word for it that I finished them. I actually did FFOs. I think those were the first FFOs I did all of 2023, but I did do them. Okay, let me flip my page here because, you know, I don't have a brain. Okay, I did pull out a couple of my whips to work on. This is Night Walk Down from the Blue Flower. This was, I believe, a 2019 release. And this was my New Year's start. I couldn't tell you if it was 2020 or 2021. I kind of think it was 20... I think it was 2020. Don't get me to lying. Anyway, I have, as usual, gone my own way. None of the call for. These are all miscellaneous silk flosses from my stash. Y'all, I don't know how people do the... I do like to pet them. Does that count? I don't know how people keep them all looking so nice. Mine always look like a rat's nest. But I just looked at the picture and pulled some things that were comparable. But I did significantly brighten up the color palette. And I made quite a little bit of progress on this. This is I'm pretty sure this is a kitten stitcher fabric, but I don't remember the name of it right now. If I think of it, I'll put it in the drop down. But there's where she is. And what I added was the start of the wording here. And then, dang it, y'all, hold on. It's not the board I usually use, but it'll work. Anyway. Maybe, we'll see. Okay, I added the words up here and then all of this swirl over here. So I felt like I made a fair to middling amount of progress on that. And she is so pretty. I'm kind of stalled out on her. She's got the big black cat at her feet. And I want to try to rechart that as a Burman since I breed Burmans. So I got to make him a pointed cat, but that may take a little doing. So we'll see. But anyway, that's where I am for now. And I was pleased with this amount of progress here. I think I may have added some more little doodads over here somewhere too. But anyway, I made some progress, which is what counts. And y'all permit me the time to put this away, because if I don't, I'll just have a big old mess. Which wouldn't be the first time. And as you can see, there's a mess on my desk and another mess behind me on the ironing board. But, you know, I have less mess in the project bags anyway. Y'all see my pretty quilt that my friend Jan made for me? I keep it in here just covering up. My chair is really ratty because the cats have sharpened their claws on it a lot. So I keep it in here, A, to cover the chair, but B, because it just makes me feel good to look at it. I love it. Thank you, Jan. I don't think she watches my FlossTube, but just in case. Thank you. I love it. This was a new start that I showed y'all at my last FlossTube. This is I Love My Sheep from Nikyscreations Primitives. And looking at it here, it doesn't really look like anything special, but I saw the model at Ann's shop, the Shepherd's Needle in Little Rock, and it was so, so pretty. And I love sheep, so I felt the need to do it. So I have some progress on it. This is not the called for linen. This is 36 count Lush Meadow from, I think it's Dames of the Needle. And since y'all saw it last, oh, and by the way, miscellaneous silks from my stash, none of the call for. I have made my shepherdess pink instead of gold because I like pink. I've added to this tree, I don't know if I had any of the tree done the last time y'all saw it. I have finished all of the sheep and added this cartouche up here. I don't remember what it's going to say, but there are words in it. So I've made quite a little bit of progress on it. In fact, I think this one is probably within striking distance of a finish. I just need to get back to working on it. Said I about everything. Actually, I don't have a whole lot of things that are close to finish, but that one I think I probably could finish. So I may try to get that done in the next couple of weeks. And then a couple of days ago, no, wrong one. I pulled this one out. This is Tend the Flock from Hands On Design. And this is an exclusive design for the Shepherd's Needle in Little Rock. And it came all kitted up with the linen and the flosses. And there's enough linen to do both the bigger piece and the little pin pillow. And there are some pretty little pins in there. I would assume that Anne still has kits for this. I don't know that for sure. But I'm quite sure she would have the pattern even if she doesn't have the whole kit anymore. But it is so cute. And for once, because Anne sent all this to me for my birthday. Thank you, Anne. I am actually stitching with the Call for Flosses. And here is where I got to. Now, I think We'll see. But I think I've stitched on this the last 2 or 3 nights. Maybe I might have stitched on it all day Sunday. I don't remember now. Anyway, I'm pretty close to a finish. There is a border line down here. And then I think I have a couple more little doodads of some kind up in here. But I expect that I will finish this either tonight or tomorrow night, whenever I get to sit down and work on it. And I just think it is really, really pretty. I have so many errors in this. And I don't care. A lot of my flowers are not perfect. I don't know where I got off. I got off. Same up here. My fence line is not running along the property line. It is running wherever I happen to drop it. And I don't think it matters. I think it's fine. But I think it's adorable. And y'all call Anne to get that pattern. Yes, I'm showing you the right side. Who knew? Anywhere. Tends the Flock from Hands On Design. Oh, and the linen is 32 count. I think it's Dirty Belfast, I think. It's whatever was kitted. And it's a super cute little pattern. I don't think I've told y'all, I almost always stitch 1/2 on anything. I prefer 36 and 40 count. I think 36 is probably my sweet spot for silk, because silk can kind of get bulky if the stitching is fairly dense on a 40 count. Most silk thread is a little bit thicker than cotton thread. But I'll stitch 1/2 on 32 count too, and I think it looks fine. I may pull out a sulky white occasionally. The white on those sheep was, I think it's Weeks whitewash, I think, and it looks fine. So anyway, that's my sermon on that. And then the last thing I worked on was my New Year's Day start. And this is, surprise, surprise, it has sheep in it. The Wool and Flax Company from Plum Street. I've had this for several years, and I'm going to try very hard in 2024 to stitch more from my stash, because I literally have, you could open a small needlework store with the amount of stash I have. And this is copyright sometime or other, beats me, 2019. From Plum Street Samplers. I think it is super cute. That's Timpy talking to Chubby. I would like them to stop talking and actually get down to business, but we'll see. Anyway, the Wool and Flax Company from Plum Street Samplers. Stitched on, this is 40 count Dusty Road from Seraphim Fabrics. And I don't have a very big start, but I do have a little start with my shepherdess and one sheep. My shepherdess is currently headless, but we'll get there. But I got a little start on that. And these are, again, miscellaneous silk flosses from my stash. I have been collecting silks since the 90s. And I finally decided, saving them. I'm 61 years old. What am I saving them for? I need to use them. So this past year, I have used my silk quite a bit. I'm not waiting for special projects anymore. I'm just using it when I feel like using it. And I do super enjoy stitching with silk. And these are from a miscellany of different dyers. My favorite is Silks for You in Australia. And I'll show you some of their Floss of the Month silks here in a minute when we get to haul. But anyway, that's what I've been stitching on. Okay, speaking of haul, I don't remember, I don't think I showed these last time, but I might have. Who knows? These were the October 2023 Silk of the Month from Silks for You in Australia. It is 5 10-meter skeins of 6-stranded silk for $21 a month, including shipping. Can't beat it with a stick. Her silks are lovely to work with. You get good coverage. The colors are great. And then these are the November 2023 silks, which came last week, I think. And they're just nice neutrals, which I appreciate. I mean, I am a color girl. You'll notice that I brighten up a lot of things, but, you know, still got to have some neutrals. So, anyway, there was my silks. I'm sorry, I need another drink. I had leftovers for lunch. And apparently I got that chicken chili a little salty. Anyway, this is not cross stitch or anything. It's just cute. Steve and I went antiquing, or not antiquing. I didn't make a traditional Christmas dinner. I did a marinated London broil. And while I was waiting for the butcher shop to cut my London broil for me, and there was a line of people at the door, it was going to take them like 45 minutes. We ran down the street to an antique store in Van Buren to kill some time. And I found this, and it was like, I think it was $1.99. Isn't that cute? Now, I could have made this. I have wool felted wool in my stash, and I could have stitched that on there, but for $1.99, I thought it was adorable, and I love anything to do with bees. So, there we go. And my heater has apparently kicked on. I am sweating like a pig. I'm a tad warm. Speaking of my little sheep that I made, oh my God, I'm so incompetent at this, I can't even get it open. My little sheep is supposed to have pink cheeks. Now, I just gouged it when I opened it. I wear makeup, I would say seldom, but that would be misleading. I wear makeup basically never. And I wanted some blush for his cheeks, and I went to pull up blush out of the makeup I had, which the last time I remember buying makeup was when a friend of mine got married in 2002. I actually met my husband at that wedding. So, you know, my makeup is 20 plus years old, and I went to pull out, and it was like gum. So, Amazon, $7.99. So I can put blush on that little sheet. I won't be putting blush on me. And then I'm going to show you a bunch of things that I have pulled out of my stash that are tentative planned starts for 2024. 2 of those are for sure definitely going to be started, because I need to finish the stockings for my son and his wife. So I have some from 123 Stitch. Actually, this didn't come from 123 Stitch. This came from Stitch USA, because they call for some stuff that is no longer available. And when I went searching for it, I found an ad that said Stitch USA had it. And I think that's in Minneapolis. It's in Minnesota somewhere. Anyway, well, when I called, they didn't have it, but they did have a conversion for other stuff. So I have a few Weeks Dye Works Perle Cottons. And then from 123 Stitch, I have the rest of the Perle Cottons needed to do those 2 patterns. And I'll show you those here in a minute. I'm probably going to start one of those as soon as I finish Tin the Flock, because I need to get them done so they can be finished in time to send them for Christmas this year. And I need to get started. So, anyway, that was my haul. Now, plans for 2024. All of this, I'm telling you, y'all, I could open my own needlework store. All of this came out of my stash. I did not purchase any of these new. And what I did is all of my cross-stitch patterns are in some magazine sorters on my shelf over there, separated by the designer. I'm sorry, I've got blush all over the place here. Anyway, so I pulled them all out on the dining room table and went through and pulled out stuff that I would like to get started this year. Now, realistically, you know, probably some other things are going to come along and I will fall off the wagon and buy some of them. But I'm going to try very hard to not buy as much and stitch more from my stash, because I love the stuff I have. There's nothing wrong with it. My problem is it's stuck in the corner over there and I forget about it. So I need to start shopping my own stash, because there's plenty of stuff in there that I love. Y'all try to hold me through that, okay? Both of these are the shepherd's bush stockings that I was talking about. I sent pictures of a bunch of them to my son and his wife and had them pick out the ones that they wanted. And this is Elizabeth's stocking, is the one that my daughter-in-law picked out. And my son picked out Brett's stocking. So my plan is, and these are pretty firm plans, I'm going to get these two done this year. Knock on wood. Those are pretty definite. The other stuff, all of this other stuff, is the stuff that I kind of think I would like to start this year. God knows I will not get it all done, but I would like to start some of it. These aren't in order anymore because I have futzed around with them. These are Brenda Gervais, what are they called? Lessons in Abecedarian. And these came out, I don't know, maybe 5 or 6 years ago, something like that. I don't know if I can see a copyright date on any of them. Nope, I can't. But they've been out for several years. And I was watching, I've blanked on her name, Colorado Cross Stitcher. And and I've looked at these as little pillows, which is how they're typically finished. And I thought, well, those are cute. But when I saw her finish, she put all 4 of them together in one long piece, rearranging them to make them fit. And I just loved it. So I would, and I've got it semi-cut. I've got the linen cut. Anne cut me a piece to size for that. And God help me, it's 46 count. So I don't think I could, unless I wanted to invest in Tudor silks, I don't think I can stitch it. And I don't have much Tudor silk because I typically stitch in regular stuff. So I need to go through my cotton flosses and pull out stuff to start this. That's one of my plans for this year, is to start that. Sorry, I'm trying to put this back because otherwise it's all going to end up on the floor. And if it ends up on the floor, the dog may eat it. I went to the eye doctor, I don't know, November, I think. And I was waiting to have money to order new glasses. And I had my prescription that he had printed out for me just stuck here in the sorter on my desk. And I came in one day last week when I finally had money to order the glasses, by the way. And the prescription was shredded. He loves nothing better than to make confetti out of paper. So that all saw about, my dog ate my homework. Well, my dog ate my glasses prescription. Anyway, I have to be careful if it goes on the floor because he could eat it. This is Chubby Bird from Jeanette Douglas. Most of the stuff I pulled out wasn't real small, but I think he is adorably cute and he is adorably small. I have a little pie tin to finish him in. I think he is super, super cute. So he is one of my planned 2024 finishes. Or 2024 starts anyway. Let me pick this up. Maybe. It's slickery. Okay. I believe it is Solar Stitches on Instagram. Posted, now it's muddy because it's been raining and snowing here for the last weekend. My dog has tracked in enough mud. I could start a farm in it. Anyway, Solar Stitches on Instagram posted that she wants to do a sale in February for anything related to farming. And this has got the little farmer and his wife with some farming implements. And then there's, I guess that's a house, but it could be a barn. And there's some, looks like it could be a tree in an orchard. And here the lady is watering her plant. So this is probably going to be my entry for that farm. I think she's calling it February Farm Sale, I think. I will try to put that down in the drop down too. And I'm sorry, this is Heart and Hand from Brenda Gervais. This is an older one from her, 2017. But super cute. I have not yet stitched anything from Pansy Patch. Is it Pansy Patch Quilts and Stitchery. But she has some really adorable patterns. And I thought this one was really, really cute. This is Peacock Manor. So that's a potential start for this year. I love me some Annie Beez folk art. And I had to have at least one patriotic one in the bunch. This is Be Sweet from Annie Beez. And I tried to not pick only certain designers. I tried to have some variety. So I pulled out Spring Basket Pinkeep from Stacy Nash. I think this came out last year, I believe. Couldn't swear to it, but that's what I think. From Brenda Gervais, this is The Rabbit and the Rose, which is, I think, just so pretty. And I love springy things, so right up my alley. I pulled this one out because these are potentialities. They are not set in stone. I love this. This is Live on Little from Plum Street Samplers. It's been out for, I think, a couple of years now. But it is huge. It is 307 by 207, so she's a big girl. And it is very stitch dense. I mean, basically the bottom half of this is full coverage. I may start this, I may not. But again, it's a potentiality. Another big girl. This is Lulu's Flock from Chessie and Me. And this also is an older one, but I couldn't tell you that I know what the date on it is. But it is older. But it's got sheep on it. I love me some sheep. She's not as big as I thought she was. 81 by 197. Not small by any stretch of the imagination. And again, the bottom half, or the bottom third probably, is pretty dense stitching. So maybe, we'll see. Another Plum Street. I said I had some variety. I didn't say I wasn't going to stitch my favorites. Ghoul Tidings from Plum Street Samplers. This is Beauty Fades from Teresa Kogut. And I love this. Love it, love it, love it. Youth is but a fleeting... Oh, wait. Youth is fleeting and beauty fades, but a woman who fears the Lord, she shall be praised. I love that. If I do this, I probably will leave off this top and do the bottom portion there. Love it. And what year would be complete without at least one Blackbird Designs? This is With My Needle from Blackbird Designs. This is older, and I believe it is probably out of print. I don't know that for sure, but I think the odds are good that it's out of print. Loose Feathers number 2. So, although I don't see a date on, oh, 2003. Yeah, it's been around a while. And then this is Kathy Barrick's Sampler Stocking from Carriage House Sampling. And it is 172 by 447. Also not small. Now, the stitching on this one is not terribly dense. I mean, there is a lot of negative space here. I am not certain that I will do this as a stocking. I may just do this as a long band type sampler. I do not think it would be real difficult to shift this portion over and, you know, fill in a little. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. I may start it. I may not. But again, it's a potential. And I've not stitched a whole lot of Carriage House samplings. I think I may have stitched one, maybe one thing from Kathy Barrick. I want to stitch the Hawk Runs, but I'm intimidated by them. And anyway, those are my potential plans. Now, that's not to say I won't get a wild hair, that I won't see something I got to have right this minute and start it when I get it. But I'm going to try to shop my stash. I'm pretty good about shopping my stash for linen and floss, because I've got enough floss to choke a horse. and enough linen to choke too. But I'm not as good about shopping my stash for patterns, and I really need to because I have more than I'll ever be able to stitch. Anyway, I think that's about it. Oh, giveaway. Like I said, I've been doing FlossTube for, I think December of 2017, I think. So I believe I just rolled over 6 years and 5,000 subscribers. Thank y'all all. And please, if you're not subscribed, please subscribe. But I have in the past made project bags to sell, and I've been very remiss in not toot my own horn and selling them, but these are the ones I have made. So I'll show you a few, and if you see one that you are just dying to have, you can let me know. And you know, the way I'm going to work it is I'll give you a code word here in a little bit, and you'll use that, and you don't have to make a sentence. You can just put that word. But it will be a project bag like this. That's a Christmas one. Kitties, and I have the kitties with both white and red. I have several of these. Which ones? Sorry. Cats are being grumpy. These are coffee cats, and I have it in both red and a pink. Farm stand. More farm stuff. Mason jars. I have several of the back to school ones. There's some patriotic puppies. Some kitty fairies. A patchwork one. Now this is a printed patchwork. I didn't actually do enough work to put that together. And then another patriotic red, white, and blue. But anyway, if you are the winner of the 5,000 subscriber giveaway, and please don't say winner, gift, giveaway, prize, yada, yada, yada. Don't use any of the keywords that the spammers and trolls love to use. If you are the winner, and I will ship this wherever you happen to be, it will be, you can choose from any of these project bags that I have made. Or if you say, my favorite color is yellow and purple, I will look in my stash and make you something in yellow and purple. Or if you say, I want an Easter one or a Thanksgiving one, or, you know, I've got a lot of fabric. I will make you something to order, or you can choose from one of these. And I will include a cut of linen and probably a little bit of silk floss and probably a couple other goodies in with that. The word I'd like you to use is, just say 5K, the number 5, the letter K. You don't have to use it in a sentence. You can just put 5K. But that's what I use the comment picker thing. And that's what I will search for is 5K. So put that, and we'll leave this open until I do my next FlossTube. Not the whip parade or the finish parade. I'm going to do those in the next couple of days. Hopefully. Knock on wood. We'll leave this open. Hopefully I'll do my next FlossTube in early February. I have 2 litters of kittens due around that time. So, you know, I'm not always religious, but I will try to be back in early February and get that done. And I promise I will get it mailed out to you wherever you happen to be. Thank you for coming to visit with me. I appreciate it. This has been almost 45 minutes, and that's pretty long FlossTube for me. I'm usually pretty quick. But I really appreciate you visiting to chat with me about FlossTube. Remember, be a subscriber. Be over 18. Don't use the no-no words. Comment with 5K. Number 5, letter K. And I will use the random comment picker to hopefully win you a prize. Thanks again. I hope your 2024 is off to a great start and is full of blessings for y'all. God bless. Bye-bye.